In this video, I'm going to talk about the most important thing in business, and that is having an absolute fat war chest. So I learned this from one of my old mentors, Sam Ovens, who is an absolute legend in the game. If you look at some of the gurus right now, like Iman, Gadzhi, Alex Becker, Will Brown, there's a bunch of others as well. If you just look at their track record, a lot of them have learned from Sam Ovens. They were all in Quantum Mastermind. And Sam talked about this a lot. And like when you have a fat war chest, you can make bigger, more long-term decisions that will grow your business exponentially over time. So what is a war chest? It's just having so much money in your bank. So you can also look at this as runway. So runway is basically, if your revenue was to go to zero, how many months could you survive paying your current expenses? And the reason why this is so important is because something like 90% of businesses that fail or go out of business is because they run out of cash in the bank. And if you just look back a couple of years ago during COVID, like the businesses that failed or went bankrupt are the ones that didn't have a big war chest and didn't have enough runway in the bank. So it's so important to focus on this. And as you start making money, you know, in business, generally what you'll find is like every single year, every single quarter, you'll have like more money in the bank than you've ever had in your life because you're growing, right? Or as an entrepreneur, you'll experience this. And you'll want to take the money out. You'll want to buy your Rolex, you want to buy your Lambo, you know, travel, to do the lifestyle thing. And I completely get it. But a lot of people focus more on that than building a big war chest. And at the end of the day, if you have a big war chest, you're just going to smash your competition. Because it honestly doesn't matter what you decide to do, you'll be able to make bigger plays. Like if you have a big war chest, let's say you have 2 years worth of a runway in the bank. Like you have so much cash that it doesn't matter who you hire. You can hire, you know, a team of the best people in the game and you're able to afford it and you don't even notice it. The same as like ads. If you're running paid ads, you can scale aggressively. You can put in massive orders of stock if you're in e-commerce and it doesn't make a difference because you've so much cash in the bank. And some industries are different. Like if you look at e-commerce, pretty hard to get 2 years worth of runway in the bank because you're spending so much money on ads and on stock, right? That's why in e-commerce, companies like Wayflyer have grown so quickly because they help people finance it, right? But for like general businesses, even agencies, you really want to focus on this. And just keep this top of mind, like as an entrepreneur, when you first start out, you just want to get 10K in your bank, then you're like, yeah, I'm the man. And then you get to that 100K mark, which you're past, then you're like, oh yeah, this is a big milestone. Like I think the 100K one is a big milestone for a lot of people because like it's not normal to have that amount of money in your bank. And then once you get to the million, then you start to build some big balls. And then, you know, I'm sure once you hit the 10 million mark and beyond, then it just gets outrageous, you know. But generally as you grow, your expenses are going to grow or get more expensive, the same as your revenue. It's kind of all relative, but you need to get in the habit of having a lot of money in the bank and not just paying yourself, you know, a massive salary or dividend. Now, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you can afford it, but you don't want to pay yourself out some, you know, massive dividend and then not having the money in the bank to make these decisions to, you know, take big bets. Like with ads right now, like for our agency, we're running ads at the minute. And you might be seeing some of them. If you've clicked through our website, we're probably retargeting you, even though you may or may not be our ideal client. But like the way I'm looking at my ads, like we're spending not too much. Like right now we're only spending about 10 grand a month. So it's like, it's not that bad, but like I don't care about wasting the 10 grand every single month. Like I really don't, because I'm doing it it's a long-term play. Like my goal is to get ads like really profitable and working this year. So I'm looking at like a 12-month period, which would be like 120K investment. But a lot of people are looking at ads and like, okay, I spent 100 quid today. Why haven't I made any money back? And it just doesn't work like that. People need to see you, they need to trust you, they need to understand what you're selling, you need to figure out how it works. And I made another video about this, talking about feedback. And obviously the the higher your LTV or your cost to acquire a customer, the longer the feedback loop is going to take. So yeah, it's just so important to have that big war chest so you can make these decisions. And it's not just with marketing, like I said, with hiring, but there's other areas of the business as well. If you have to make investments in different things, you're going to be able to do it with ease when you have a bigger war chest. Okay, but I'd talk all day about this. I'll leave this here. Let me know if you've heard about these terms before, like building a war chest or having a big runway, because it's some of the most important metrics in business. Because without this, like I said, 90% of businesses fail because they run out of cash in the bank. So you always want to make sure you have cash in the bank. It's one of your most important metrics, and just be obsessed with it. And generally, if you obsess about this, if you obsess about cash in the bank and you're trying to optimize this, naturally you'll then optimize your profit, and you will, which obviously revenue is important, but profit is the most important metric to help you stack your war chest. So make sure you focus on this. Set a goal for your quarter and for the end of the year to have your war chest, have your bank balance at a certain number, and make sure you get it. Be relentless with it and go do it. I'll talk to you in the next video. Cheers.